Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, wa walahu wa ba'd. Today, inshallah, we will starting off with a new topic, and our new topic is political system of Islam, Islamic political system. Yeah? Uh, Whenever we study political systems or any political theory, we generally divide it into two groups. We generally divide political studies of or political systems into two sets of groups or two sections. The first section is related with the concept of governance, how any government works. That is known as the concept of governance. What is the ideology upon which any government works? And the second section deals with the duties and obligations and rights of that government, how a government works, that is governance. That is the first part of the political system. And the second part is what are the rights and duties of that government. In the first part, which is how the government works or the governance, that is further divided into two steps. That is further divided into two sections. The first section is how a government comes into being, how a government is formed. Is there any are there any illegal governments? Is there any concept of illegal government or illegitimate government, or every government formed is a legitimate government? If there is a concept of an illegitimate government, then the question of formation of government is very important and crucial, because then there would be certain governments which will be legitimate governments and the other governments will be considered as illegitimate government. Hence we will study how a government is formed, and if a certain government is formed legitimately, then what will be its rights and responsibilities? And if the government is illegitimate, then what will be its rights and duties? You get my point? So the part of governance is then further divided into two parts, into two sections. The formation of the government and the working of the government. The formation of the government and the working of the government. And then after studying this, we come to the rights and obligations of the government. We will try to keep this in this simple way. When we will study, obviously, keep one thing in mind. Okay, what we are going to study right now under the heading or under the section of political system of Islam, that would be only an introduction to the Islamic political theory or Islamic political ideology or Islamic political system. I am not going to, we are not going to discuss in details. The details are immense, the details are huge, the details are are very complex. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to introduce to you what what is the basic structure of Islamic political ideology. You get my point? And furthermore, we'll be discussing some uh, contemporary issues. For example, whether democracy is compatible with Islam or not. We will discuss this a bit in a bit detail, in not thoroughly, but in a bit detail. We will discuss okay, whether democracy is compatible with Islam or not, and certain other questions as well, which are related to our times. We will discuss that, but please keep this in mind that this would only be an introduction, and there are many details which we will be unable to study because of the scope of the course and your level as well. Okay, so you will be getting an introduction only. You won't be becoming masters on the Islamic political ideology after receiving these lectures. You should you should know this, you should comprehend this, and you should always keep in mind this thing. Okay, तो पहली बात तो ये हमें ये बात you should keep that in mind. Now coming to political ideology, we'll start off that there are four existing, four different existing uh, concepts of political theories. In our modern world, in our today's world, our world has been governed by four different types of political systems. Generally, These four different types of political systems are what? Either some part of the for some part of the world is governed by democracy, or some part of the world is governed by dictatorship, or some part of the world is governed by monarchy, or some part of the world is governed by theocracy. These four are different political systems which are now existing in today in our today's world. Okay, what are the four existing different political systems? Democracy, dictatorship, monarchy, and theocracy. These are the four different groups. Okay, four different systems. Now we should understand. We should have a working understanding of all these four. What is dictatorship? Dictatorship, या इसको आप you can also call name it as autocracy. Dictatorship को autocracy भी कहते हैं. Autocracy is what is autocracy? Autocracy is that political system in which all the political authority, in which all the political authority rests with a single person, rests with a single person. This is autocracy. Autocracy या dictatorship के अंदर क्या होता है? In which all the political authority, जितनी भी political authority है, it rests with one single person. वो एक बंदे के पास होता है. जो वो कहता है वो कानून है, जो वो नहीं कहता वो कानून नहीं. You get my point? This is autocracy. Now, what is monarchy या kingship? Monarchy को kingship भी कहते हैं, बादशाहियत जिसको आप कहते हैं. Monarchy में ये होता है कि the absolute political authority lies with one family, lies within one family. And the difference between autocracy and monarchy is that in monarchy, this authority is inherited within that family. But in autocracy, it is not compulsory that the authority is inherited within that family. It might be the case, it might not be the case. डिक्टेटरशिप के अंदर क्या होता है कि वो जो अथॉरिटी होती है वो लाजमी तौर पे इनहेरिट नहीं होती उसी खानदान या फैमिली के अंदर. फॉर एग्जांपल, एक डिक्टेटर है, जब वो मरेगा तो अगला डिक्टेटर उसका बेटा भी हो सकता है, कोई और भी हो सकता है. जो भी बंदा जो सबसे पावरफुल होगा वो डिक्टेटर बन जाएगा. वो उसी पहले डिक्टेटर का बेटा भी हो सकता है और नहीं भी हो सकता. फॉर एग्जांपल आप देखिए कि इजिप्ट के अंदर या हमारे अंदर जितनी भी डिक्टेटरशिप आई, उसमें आप देखिए कि अयूब खान, याहिया खान, ज़ियाउल हक और मुशर्रफ, ये सारे डिक्टेटर्स थे. लेकिन क्या ये एक ही फैमिली के थे? नहीं, इनहेरिट नहीं हो रही. चलिए ये इनके तो उसमें इनमें इनके तो आपस में सालों में भी डिफरेंस था. हम ऐसे लोग कहते हैं जैसे कॉन्टिन्यूस डिक्टेटरशिप रही है. जैसे कि इजिप्ट started off with Jamal Abdel Nasser, a military dictator. Then who became then became Anwar Sadat, another military dictator. Jamal Abdel Nasser and Anwar Sadat, they are not related in family. After Anwar Sadat, who became the present Hosni Mubarak, again a military dictator. These three military dictators, they were in continuous terms. लेकिन both, all three of them are not related. सबसे ज्यादा पावरफुल जमाल अब्दुल नासिर था, हेड ऑफ द मिलिट्री, वो बन गया डिक्टेटर. जब वो मरा तो अगला जो हेड ऑफ द मिलिट्री था वो सबसे पावरफुल था तो वो बन गया. उसके बाद जब वो मरा तो अगला जो हेड अनवर सादात मरा, अनवर सादात के बाद हुस्ने मुबारक था, हुस्ने मुबारक बन गया. लेकिन इसी तरीके की मिलिट्री डिक्टेटरशिप हमें सीरिया में भी मिलती. सीरिया में जो पहले डिक्टेटर था वो उसका नाम था हाफिजुल असद. हाफिज इज नॉट कुरान वाला हाफिज, उसका नाम था हाफिजुल असद. उसका नाम था हाफिजुल असद. ही वाज अ मिलिट्री डिक्टेटर. हाफिजुल असद remained in power for 40 almost 40 years. उसके बाद जो अगला डिक्टेटर आया, he is Bashar al-Assad. He is also a military dictator. Bashar al-Assad is also the son of Hafiz al-Assad. ये बेटा भी है और मिलिट्री, लेकिन ये इनहेरिट नहीं की उसने, वो क्योंकि वैसे ही सबसे उसने पहले वाले ने अपने बेटे ही को सबसे पावरफुल रखा तो वो उधर आ गया. तो ऑटोक्रेसी के अंदर, डिक्टेटरशिप के अंदर जो अथॉरिटी है, पॉलिटिकल अथॉरिटी, दैट इज नॉट इनहेरिटेड within one family. But in monarchy, the political authority is inherited in the same way the belongings are inherited. लेकिन मोनार्की के अंदर ये नहीं होता, मोनार्की के अंदर इनहेरिटेंस पे चलती है, जिस तरीके से विरासत तक आगे मुंतकिल होती है उसी तरीके से पॉलिटिकल पावर भी मुंतकिल होती है. तो दिस इज द बेसिक मेजर डिफरेंस बिटवीन ऑटोक्रेसी एंड मोनार्की. ठीक है. द थर्ड सिस्टम अगर हम देखें तो द थर्ड सिस्टम इज डेमोक्रेसी. व्हाट इज डेमोक्रेसी? The most I'm not going to say that this is the this is the technical definition or a very correct definition, yet technically correct sound definition of democracy. Rather, the most popular definition of democracy is the one given by Abraham Lincoln. And when Abraham Lincoln defined democracy, he defined democracy as it's the government of the people, for the people, by the people, or government by the people, for the people, of the people. This is how Abraham Lincoln defined democracy. Okay? So this is one of the way of governing the world. And the last and the fourth existing form of governance is known as theocracy. Is known as theocracy. Theocracy क्या है? Theocracy is a type of government in which a certain religious sect or priests rule. In which certain religious set of people, group of people, or priest has ruled the country. Now, this is very important. There is one thing very important to understand. और ये बात अगर आप लोगों के पास मोबाइल है, take out your mobiles. I will tell you to do one thing. Go and Google what is priest. What is priest? Priest क्या है? If I Google priest, अगर मैं देखूं कि चलिए हम भी आपके साथ करते हैं, Google कीजिए, जिसके Google पहले क्या, tell me what is priest. Go and search for the meaning of priest. Who is a priest?
पादरी.
नहीं, मैंने आपसे मीनिंग पूछा है, मैंने आपसे वो नहीं पूछा. तर्जुमा.
पादरी इसका
तर्जुमा है ये. This is not the meaning. What is a priest? Priest is an
Sir, one authorized to perform the sacred rites of a religion, especially as a mediatory agent between humans and God specifically.
Exactly. Priest is an ordained minister of the Catholic, Orthodox, and Anglican Church, authorized to perform certain rites and administer certain sacraments. ठीक है? और अभी और आपने क्या बताया था? Person who is authorized to perform the sacred rituals of a religion.
One authorized to perform the sacred rites of a religion, especially as a mediatory agent between humans and God specifically.
Exactly. Look, these two definitions. अब आप देखिए पहली definition और दूसरी definition को. अब be with me. पहली definition is कि a priest is an ordained minister. ठीक है? Authorized to perform certain rites and administer certain sacraments. Sacraments obviously are religious duties. ठीक है? जो दूसरी definition है, which is the Wikipedia definition, it is a priest is a religious leader authorized to perform sacred rituals of a religion. आगे देखिए, this is very important, especially as a mediatory agent between humans and one or more deities. This concept of priest, ठीक है, क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि it is an equal concept of mullah which we have in Islam या मौलवी? Can we say that? मैंने आपको बताया कि definition को दिमाग में रखना है. He is an ordained person and he acts as a mediatory between God and people and divine. ये दो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्या मौलवी यही है हमारे यहाँ?
नो सर. नो सर.
मौलवी ये नहीं होता. ठीक है? इसका मतलब है कि पादरी है, जो प्रीस्ट है, he is not equivalent of मौलवी से मतलब क्या कि priest is a very specific Christian term. अब हम जब theocracy में जाते हैं तो theocracy में क्या होता है? A government run by priests. Again, theocracy becomes a very Christian term because the concept of theocracy is based upon priestship. Priestship क्या चीज है? Priestship ये होती है, ये concept है religion के अंदर, and this is specifically in Christianity, and it is nowhere in any other religion except we will study that a similar thing is present in one more thing, और हम उधर आते हैं, ठीक है? एक क्रिश्चियनिटी के अंदर कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? क्रिश्चियनिटी के अंदर जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो है इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज्ड अथॉरिटी का. There is a concept of institutionalized authority in Christianity. एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है जिसको वो लोग चर्च कहते हैं, स्पेशली कैथोलिसिज्म में, कैथोलिक रोमन कैथोलिक्स में और ऑर्थोडॉक्स के अंदर इन लोगों में, क्योंकि इनकी चर्च मौजूद है. वो जो चर्च है क्रिश्चियन चर्च, चाहे वो कैथोलिक चर्च है, रोमन कैथोलिक चर्च है या ऑर्थोडॉक्स चर्च है, उसके पास एब्सोल्यूट अथॉरिटी है टू रिप्रेजेंट रिलीजन, ठीक है? और उसके अलावा नो वन हैज द राइट टू रिप्रेजेंट रिलीजन. दे आर द मीडिएटर्स between the divine and the seculars, between the divine and between the mortals and the immortals. They are the mediators. There is no other way of mediation between the divine and the mortals. समझ आ गई बात कि नहीं आ गई? This concept means what? If you go against this mediation, if you disagree with the mediators, you are not only disagreeing with the mediators, rather you are disagreeing with the God himself. बात समझ आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही? तो एब्सोल्यूट अथॉरिटी एक इंस्टीट्यूशन के पास मौजूद है. जब वो रूल करती है तो वो एज ए इंस्टीट्यूशन रूल नहीं करती, वो डिवाइन कैपेसिटी के साथ रूल करती है. ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है कि अ रूल इन विच गॉड, अ गवर्नमेंट इन विच गॉड रूल्स इन सच अ वे दैट टू गो अगेंस्ट द गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग अगेंस्ट God, is considered as going against the God himself. This type of government is known as what? A theocratic government. And this was present in the medieval times in Europe when Christian church used to rule. Because when church used to rule in the name of God. When I say in the name of God, I do not mean according to the will of God. In the name of God means in the place of God. What does this mean, that in the place of God? That the church represents God in this world in such a way that if you go against the church, you go against God himself. You getting my point? तो ये concept है theocracy का. Yeah, every religious government is a theocratic government. No, if there is a religion who does not believe in such theocracy, if there is a religion who does not have any institutional hierarchy, if there is a religion who does not believe in any institutional authority, so that religion cannot have any theocratic government. बात समझ आ रही है कि नहीं? तो theocracy is a very specific Christian-centered term. And it is a very specific Christian-centered ideology. To generalize it with every type of religious government is a severe and a grave academic mistake. To equate theocracy with every form or with any form of religious government is a very blunt, it's a very grave academic error, and it is only done by those who are unable to understand the different attitudes and the different teachings of different religions, and it is only done by those who paint all the religions with the same brush, while every religion is inherently different from every other religion. And when you combine all the differences, that is the gravest mistakes which one can do. You're getting my point? This is what has happened. Many of the political theorists, many of the political analysts, in Pakistan and outside Pakistan as well, in the Western world as well, they equate theocracy with every other religious government. क्यों? क्योंकि वेस्ट के अंदर, because theocracy originally developed in West because of the Christian rule. तो वेस्ट जब भी कोई चीज फॉर्मुलेट करता है, whenever West formulate anything, it formulates that thing, that theory according to its own historical background. And after formulating the theory in its own historical background, West considers that the entire world had the same historical background as the West had, which is wrong. Not every part of the world had the same experience which West went through. Western experience is exclusive to West, and there are many different experiences through which the East went through. So you cannot equate the Western experience with the universal experience. You cannot understand the entire universe by putting on the Western glasses, by putting on the methodologies of Western methodologies. You cannot do that. That's simply wrong, because then you'll be applying one historical context into another historical context which are not similar. Rather, they are intrinsically different from each other. You get my point? This is what happens. और आगे जाके मैं आपको इसको बताऊंगा कि क्यों फिर कायदे आज़म और इकबाल के जो वर्ड्स हैं और उनकी स्पीचेस को गलत समझा गया, बिकॉज पीपल हियर आर अनएबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. क्योंकि यहाँ जो है, ये लोग, हमारे यहाँ ज्यादातर वेस्टर्न मेथोडोलॉजी अप्लाई जाती है, और हमारे यहाँ पढ़ा लिखा तबका भी इस बात का वो नहीं है, इस बात का मतलब दे आर नॉट केपेबल ऑफ डिफरेंशिएटिंग कि कौन सी थ्योरी, कौन सी मेथोडोलॉजी it's western because it developed in a western society, and it cannot be generalized and universalized. So you need to understand this. This is very important. I hope you understand this, what theocracy is and how theocracy is not every religious government, and how we cannot equate theocracy with every other religious government. Theocracy is only that government which is run according to the concept of priesthood, in which priests govern, in which God is represented as God himself, not as his will, as God himself in the secular world, in such a way that going against that representator or the mediator is considered as going against God himself. You get my point? This is what theocracy is. अगर हम इन चार सिस्टम्स को अपनी मॉडर्न टाइम्स के ऊपर देखें, तो आप ये बात देखिए कि डिक्टेटरशिप जो है, it has been prevalent in most of the Muslim world. Most of the African Muslim countries are in dictatorship. Egypt, Syria, अभी पिछले दिनों तक क्या नाम है इसका, कज़ाफी किधर का था, लीबिया, and all these states, बहुत अरसे तक टर्की, हम लोगों के यहाँ आती नहीं, ये लोग डिक्टेटरशिप जो है, most of the Muslim world, North Korea is dictatorship now, ठीक है, तो बहुत से ये लोग, this is dictatorship. Monarchy किधर है? Most of the Middle Eastern countries are monarchs. ज़्यादातर जो Middle Eastern Muslim countries हैं, they are monarchs. और ये तो असल monarch है, active monarchy है Middle East के अंदर. और बहुत सी वेस्टर्न और दूसरी कंट्रीज के अंदर सिंबॉलिक मोनार्की है, जैसे कि अभी भी ग्रेट ब्रिटेन में सिंबॉलिक मोनार्की मौजूद है, यूनियन जैक चलता है अभी भी, उधर वो लोग हैं, लेकिन देयर मोनार्की इज सिंबॉलिक, ठीक है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर सिंबॉलिक मोनार्की है, ऑस्ट्रिया के अंदर सिंबॉलिक मोनार्की है, जापान के अंदर सिंबॉलिक मोनार्की मौजूद है अभी भी, लेकिन एक्टिव मोनार्की जो है अभी तक वो मिडिल ईस्टर्न कंट्रीज में है. सऊदिया होगी, कुवैत हो गई, यूएई हो गया, कतर है, ये सारी जगह मोनार्क्स है. डेमोक्रेसी, many of the western world they claim that they are democratic. Most of the western world is democratic. आप देख लीजिए, अमेरिका है, यूरोप, most of the Europe is democratic. हम कहते हैं कि हम लोग भी डेमोक्रेसी है, इंडिया इज डेमोक्रेसी, बांग्लादेश इज डेमोक्रेसी, तो ये सारे इलाके जो है वो डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम के अंदर आते हैं. थियोक्रेसी की जो मिसाल है, हिस्ट्री के अंदर मैंने आपको बताया, थियोक्रेसी की जो मिसाल है वो है क्रिश्चियन यूरोप, medieval times के अंदर the Christian Europe was an example of theocracy, और modern times के अंदर जो theocracy की मिसाल है, that is Iran. Iran is a very perfect example of theocracy. किस तरीके से हम बाद में आकर बात करेंगे कि किस तरीके से, ठीक है. ये 4 systems आपके दिमाग में होने बहुत जरूरी. अगली क्लास के अंदर जब हम आएंगे इंशाल्लाह, क्योंकि there are 10 minutes left only. In the next class, I'm going to narrate you a story, a historical story, not a story, fictional story. तो आप लोग जरा उससे आइएगा. I'm going to narrate to you a story, and I'm going to narrate you how the first 4 Muslim rulers became the rulers. मैं आपको ये दिखाना चाहूंगा कि किस तरीके से पहले 4 खुलफा जो है मुसलमानों के, वो खुलफा बने, ताकि आपको ये बात पता चले कि होता सिलेक्शन ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट हुई कैसे. जब वो आप कहानी सुन लेंगे, then we will study the ideological aspect as well. ठीक है. तो next would be I will tell you a story. वो शायद हम टाइम ज्यादा भी ले लें, हम 2 क्लासेस कर ले एक साथ, लेकिन वो मैं क्योंकि वो स्टोरी कंप्लीट करूंगा. ठीक है. We'll start off with the times of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and we'll end with Sayyidina Imam Hassan alayhi salam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. ठीक है. We'll start off Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and we'll end with Sayyidina Imam Hassan radiyallahu ta'ala anhu alayhi salam. ठीक है. We'll do that. I think either we'll do that tomorrow or we'll do that on Saturday, inshallah. We will not go take that with us in the next week. We will not do that. We'll take the next class in this week, inshallah. Either we're going to take it on tomorrow, or we are going to take it on Saturday or Sunday. Okay? We are not going to take the story into the next week, inshallah. If you have any questions related to this lecture, you can ask now. You can ask now, or you can say everything is clear, inshallah.
सर, आपने बताया था कि जो priests हैं और जो churches हैं, वहाँ पर अगर जो मीडिएटर्स हैं, अगर आप उनको डिसएग्री करते हो तो आप गॉड को डिसएग्री करते हो. और दूसरा पॉइंट आपने बताया था कि वो गवर्नमेंट जिसमें गॉड रूल करते हैं. उससे आगे का पॉइंट जो आपकी बात समझ नहीं आई थी, आवाज कट गई.
क्या था कि द रूल द गवर्नमेंट होती है, जो प्रीस्ट गवर्नमेंट बनाता है, तो वो द प्रीस्ट रूल इन द नेम ऑफ गॉड. ठीक है. रूलिंग इन द नेम ऑफ गॉड कैन हैव 2 मीनिंग्स. ठीक है. वन मीनिंग वुड बी I am ruling in the name of God, meaning I am ruling according to the laws of God. Okay? According to the instructions of God, as God has given me the instructions. Number 2, I am ruling in the name of God means what? Okay, I am ruling as a representative of the God. Hence, I will have the authority same as the authority God enjoys. Because the representative, it enjoys the same authority as the representative. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
The priest की the theocracy के अंदर जो हुकूमत होती है, वो इस दूसरे मायने में होती है कि when they govern, when they rule in the name of God, they rule as representatives of the God. Hence, they what should I say? They claim the authority which the divine claims for himself. समझा गई बात?
Okay, sir.
So hence going
yes, sir.
इसलिए जब medieval Europe के अंदर, if you disagree with the Pope, if you disagree with the government, so you were not disagreeing with the government only. Rather, you were considered, rather your act was considered as blasphemy. Your act was considered an act of rejection against God. You're getting my point?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Our caliphs and their government that come under dictatorship. This we will study later on. जब आप ये देखेंगे कि जब मैं आपको वो पूरी सुनाऊंगा कि किस तरीके से कैलिफ्स बने और किस तरीके से वो रूल करते थे, तो आपको ये सवाल खुद ब खुद जवाब मिल जाएगा. ये इसीलिए मैंने बताया आपको सब कुछ, ताकि आपको ये क्लियर हो कि whether the 4 caliphs were the dictators, were the monarchs, were they used to rule according to theocracy, वो क्या थे. हमारे पास इस वक्त हमारे दिमागों के अंदर बहुत अजीब चीजें डाल दी गई हैं लोगों ने चारों खुलफा के बारे में. यही चीजें मैंने आपको अगले लेक्चर से समझानी है कि हाउ डिड द 4 caliphs they ruled. ठीक है. तो ये आपका सवाल हो जाएगा इंशाल्लाह.
इंशाल्लाह।
थैंक यू सर।
कोई और सवाल तो नहीं है? ओके, वी विल एंड अप हियर इंशाल्लाह। अगला लेक्चर या फिर मैं आपका कल लूंगा इंशाल्लाह, या फिर हम लोग लेंगे सैटरडे, ठीक है?
सर ईरान कैसे है?
वो भी मैं
थ्योरी
आपको
की
बताऊंगा। हम लोग क्योंकि शिया स्कूल ऑफ थॉट पढ़ेंगे कि शिया पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी क्या है, जब हम वो पढ़ रहे होंगे तो आप समझ जाइए, ठीक है?
ओके सर।
और कोई सवाल? Okay, we'll end up here inshallah, or either we'll have a class tomorrow at the same time, or we'll have it on Saturday or Sunday. Okay? Okay. Take care. Allah Hafiz.